Hi, everyone. So we are live. Perfect. We are going to be waiting a few minutes until all the attendees join us. I can see in the chat that the number of attendees is growing. Before we start, maybe a kind reminder for everybody here. This webinar will be recorded. We'll be able to share the recording after this session and also the slides attached to it. If you happen to have any questions, there is a box into which you can ask your question. We do have the team in the back end, 3 people actually, which are ready to fire up and answer all the questions. And last but not least, if you want to follow us, please go on LinkedIn, search for DeepIP and follow us. Or otherwise, you can also go on our website. You can access many information, our newsletter, some additional content about the previous webinars we organized. We usually organize 1 per month on average and try to stay very consistent on that. So feel free to join us and to follow us. I can see the number of people growing. We're going to be waiting 1 additional minute or 2 minutes, and then we'll get started with the webinar of today. For the people that are already in the room, maybe please be aware that we will be this weekend and beginning of next week in London at INTA. We are also going to have a booth out there. So if you happen to be at INTA, feel free to join us. Come and ask questions. We'll be very happy. And last but not least, we are also organizing a dinner. So we are very happy to have more people on site. So if you are interested and available, feel free to ask and join us as well at INTA. All right, so let's get it started. I can see that we have more and more people in the chat. Everyone is ready? Okay, good. So, hi everybody. Thank you very much for joining us today. This is our 4th webinar of the year, if I'm not mistaken. And as far as I'm concerned, this is the 3rd one I'm actually running. The topic of today is a very important topic, and it's going to be all about how to build an integrated AI patent workflow that scales. The session will be divided in 3 parts, more or less. In the first part, we'll have a reintroduction about who we are at DeepIP, what we have been building very quickly for those who don't know us yet, even though I guess the majority of the people are well aware about DeepIP at this stage. In the second part, we will go through a Q&A with our guest speaker, Alex, which we will introduce in a very short time. And last but not least, in the third part, we will showcase some of our workflows, functionalities, so that we can materialize all the topics we addressed in the second part. So to start off, I will give the floor to our outstanding guest speaker today, Alex. Hi, Alex. It's very nice to have you. We are very thankful that you accepted to join us for this webinar. Would you mind to introduce yourself for the audience today?
Thank you, Loman. Yeah, I'm really great to participate in this fantastic event. I'm Alex Jury. To see that I'm a patent attorney, and have over 20 years experience and practice in every aspect of the patent practice, including patent protection, patent licensing, and patent litigation. And also, I'm an innovator. That means that I have done a lot of innovation, including high tech, deep tech, and recently health and life science. And as my background, that I got my PhD at Johns Hopkins University in physics, and over 3 years I'm in industry, academic, and government position. And then recently I think about that is a year of the AI. Usually that we require is AI enabled professionals and industry. Right? You see that every industry, every area, they talk about AI native because of the AI is all over the world. So I started to my initiative AI native patent practice academy. So based on my experience, I want to cultivate, because as you see that I have both sides, and not just like a patent practice, but I understand all the AI detail innovation. So I can develop my own IP solutions. So my understanding is a default level understanding of the technology of the IP solution itself, and then also I understand the patent practice side. So I try to integrate, and then I try to cultivate the next generation, the IP professionals with patent attorney to as a AI enabled patent practitioner. So that's I focus on that. That's here that I hear the reason because of my initiative. Thank you, man, again for the inviting me to this fantastic event.
Thank you very much, Alex. And on behalf of DeepIP, we are feeling very honored to have you today, based on your extensive background, both from the patent attorney side, but also the deep tech side of it. So we thought it was a very good idea to have you, to teach our audience on the importance of AI and how the future of the next AI platform should look like. So very happy to have you here. As far as I'm concerned, guys, I guess most of you know me already, but for those who don't know, I'm Romain Vidal, based in Barcelona. I'm a patent attorney also from background, studied physics as well, material science kind of. Used to spend a lot of time in the space of computer implemented invention back in the days when I was still practicing. But for the past 6 years, I decided to redirect my career towards AI for patent matters. Joined DeepIP 4 months ago now. And I'm supporting the commercial effort at DeepIP in Europe. So, a few words about DeepIP. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time here, but for those who don't know us yet, DeepIP is a French-American company. We do have offices in Paris and New York. Funnily, actually, the company started out of New York, where our CEO and some people from the commercial side are based. Our CTO is based in Paris with the entire technical teams, plus some additional people from the staff. 3 years of existence. We are about 60 people as we speak. We have been raising $40 million in total, announced a Series B early March of $25 million. This amount of money is there to obviously scale up our product that we are going to be focusing on today, but also grow up our number of people to best support our growing number of customers. We have more than 300 active companies using DeepIP, and also thousands of weekly users. Okay. So at the essence of DeepIP, it's very important to understand what we have been building from a product standpoint. And as you can see here, this slide is summarizing very well the scope of product that we have. So at the essence of all of that is the understanding that AI and LLM capabilities have been developing extremely fast. And nowadays, we are able to leverage any type of AI models to the full scope of the patent lifecycle. So as you will see, we will have solutions for each step of the patent lifecycle to handle the substantive aspect of patent. Ideally, what we are building and attempting to build is what we call the patent AI operating system that aims at sitting next to the legacy IPMS system out there. Okay, we work with a lot of customers distributed across private practices and corporation, more or less equally, I would say. So here there are a few names of users of DeepIP. As you can see on the corporate side, we have Philips, ASM, and also on the private practice side, we do work with Mewburn Ellis and Cantor Colburn, for instance. This number of users is growing rapidly across North America and Europe. And that shows how DeepIP impact their business positively, basically. From a data confidentiality standpoint, I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but that's highly important. As you guys know, whenever you are dealing with patent matters, there is a requirement to ensure at the customer side a high level in terms of confidentiality and security. We have the full standard when it comes to certification, ISO 27001 for Europe, SOC 2 in the US, and across the board, we also do have 4201 for responsible AI. We have two environments, one in the EU, one in the US, depending on where you guys sit, and the entire data is fully segregated, fully encrypted, so that we ensure the highest level of protection on our customer side. So whenever a company is trying to or is building the AI patent operating system for substantive matters, it's very important to understand the ecosystem at our users' end in the first place. And when I say ecosystem, it means existing workflows, but potentially also existing system that must remain. So you need to understand that DeepIP built into two environments, the web app that we are going to be focusing on mainly today, but also Microsoft Word. The main reason for doing that was pretty obvious. We started to build first our patent drafting module, and obviously most of the the crowd out there, you guys are using Microsoft Word to draft. So that was a way for us to increase adoption quite importantly, and also we still see actually a higher usage on that side. Bear in mind that all the modules we have been building in the web app are more or less equally available into Microsoft environment as well. So now, whenever as a company we try to build this patent AI operating system, it's very important for us to leverage AI to its best capabilities in order to allow our users to spend more time on what truly matters to their case, meaning that most of the time the technical understanding, technical interpretation, technical understanding of the prior art, and free up more time on that, so that you guys can better align your overall business IP strategy to the project at stake you are working on. So you will see in our modules we have a plurality of AI capabilities or overall automation functionalities that will allow you to spend less time on things that can be automated and more time on what matters to your business, basically. And last but not least, not spending too much time on that, but part of building AI integrating patent workflow or platform out there is the ability to plug into IPMS. So based on project discussion, we are able to do that, and we are able to further automate the workflow and processes of our users out there. So as you can see, our platform covers each step of the patent lifecycle, ranging from invention harvesting down the line to patent application drafting, then further down the line with office action, and eventually any type of legal opinion-based type of work, such as FTO, invalidity, licensing. And last but not least, more, let's say, business-oriented, strategic-oriented type of solution with portfolio management and landscaping. Whenever you build a tool with this type of breadth covering the entire patent lifecycle, it's very important to ensure a high level of automation across those modules, a high level of customization for the user and for an organization, but also a high level of, let's say, data retention, output retention, and interconnectivity between those modules. This is going to be the focus of the session of today, where we're going to showcase and talk about our interconnectivity functionality across the different modules to optimize the output of each step of the patent lifecycle in the next step, but also our more, let's say, enterprise-grade capabilities in terms of collaborative functionalities, possibility to customize each of the output in each module to the highest accuracy for the users in terms of style, in terms of template, and so on and so forth. So that's very important aspect, and that's what we are going to spend the most time today with Alex. So that was it for DeepIP's presentation. Now it's time to let the expert Alex help us in navigating the challenge of building, AI integrated patent platform. So Alex, if you could help our audience today to better understand the difference between generalist AI type of solution, and I'm thinking mostly about ChatGPT, Anthropic, Claude, or even Gemini AI, versus very specific patent type of platform such as DeepIP. What are the risks? What are the pros and cons? If you could enlighten our audience on that.
Actually, your question already has an answer, right? Because generalized, right? Generalist AI, ChatGPT, they are generalist. And pattern specific, they are specialist, right? So the generalist AI can do many things, not just the pattern, right? So they can provide some answer related to pattern, and also like you can utilizing for pattern drafting, anything, right? Some of the like in the general scope, but the most the differentiate of the pattern specific AI is that they try to be the specific for pattern. So they are very kind of like a pattern professional, right? So they understand the pattern language, not general language, pattern language. Pattern language means that it's a legal language. So there are many legal things to understand. So they understand. So that's a structure, legal reasoning, right? So and then there's, for example, that there's just for generalist doing is the general reasoning, but the pattern practice require the, for example, claim like a language, a claim structure is a legal terms, right? Prior mapping. Actually, you look at the infringement and the potential patentability, anything like the legal reasoning, and also like the prosecution logic is, for example, MPP is one of the one good text reference, right? And then maybe you can ask for this MPP details to the general, but they are more trained to be adapted to this one. Also like a portfolio level strategy is very important, and many more, because that's one of the critical point actually. I have a lot of my own agentic AI framework implement in the generalists like Gemini or the ChatGPT. The problem is that they cannot link with the pattern like a database. You mentioned about you are in the cloud base, right? So whatever you want to do, actually, you don't have a direct route to look at what the database, right, is a relevance database. That's the one critical point you can think about it, right? So and then mostly that you can think about that the pattern practice, especially that they are divided by the very different sectors, right? And then so they also need a specialist type, right? Because that's a very important thing. And then I found that DeepIP is that kind of the tools actually that they modularize, and that they have a specialty of the specialist for each model, to taking care of the like search patentability, like prior art, and other things like patent prosecution and then portfolio management, and in a different sector. But the most important, so maybe in the later stage will be data integrate, right? So that's the one that I can give you the answer for your question. Yeah.
Thank you. That's a great point. So I understand, like, indeed the output when it's not, patent specific might not be as accurate. What do you think, Alex, about additional aspect around, workflows well adapted for the user to kind of mirror what's being done in real life for patent attorney, the kind of environment that would be, from a user experience more adequate to patent attorney. Do you think that is important also to
Yeah,
distinguish
yeah,
generalist
yeah,
AI
yeah.
tool versus patent-specific AI tool?
Yeah, that's true. Because, for example, I tried to experiment a general tool like ChatGPT, right? And then one thing is that they are internally integrated. So if you divide it by the different aspect, but actually they internally know each other, right? So that's one thing that they can. It looks like they can give the better answer. But the one thing that I found that actually they are not specific for the pattern workflow, right? They have a general idea about what the specific pattern workflow looks like and what is needed at the point, and then what should be the point should be integrated, right? And so actually, I need to train them, and so I need my effort. So that means that unless you like me, that I understand the different level technical understanding or so pattern practice. Because in the generally you're just practicing, you don't have time. Right? So even if you have a ChatGPT, I know that all the pattern actually is tech shabby, right? So they understand and they use the ChatGPT and other tools every day, so they are very shabby. But if you want to do for your own, right, doing your self time, it'll take a lot of time, and then you cannot be optimized, right?
Yeah.
So by the way, actually the solution is already take care of that all aspect, right? Because especially the workflow integrated internally, and then know about what your intention to do that, and then especially the save your time, and then they optimize the workflow, right? So that's my experience with ChatGPT, and that I said like I really have expertise, even if I develop my own, but I just to honestly say that like I need to use ChatGPT is like a T-by-P type, the like a customized and more specialized tool, because and especially they are controllable, so they are governance. Like you mentioned about the security its privacy issues good, right?
Absolutely.
And they should comply. And so you don't know, right? If you use something in the ChatGPT, then what if the privacy and security matter you heard in the news, right? And so the governance, right? They governed by some rule, because in the patent practice, one of the most important thing is liability, right? The accountability, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm attorney. The patent in the U.S. The patent attorney is a legal attorney, right? Because I'm a New York State attorney. So all of my the legal work is should be accountable, right?
Yeah.
So if you do something using on your own tool, right? And then something happened, then you're accountable, right? But as a patent practice, like utilizing your tool, right? And then in the all the kind of thing in the like accountable through the actually the use so like a tool is absorb that accountability liability, right? So that's for the practical side is very important issue that. And then that's why that I prefer to use a commercial tool like a T-by-P because of the practical matter.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. Thank you, Alex, on that. On the second point, maybe something that comes from our personal experience over the past 5 years. We're going to try to go a little bit quicker on those for the sake of time, Alex. But we have been seeing in the past years the emergence of many private providers, or even public, actually tackling very specific tasks of the patent lifecycle. Let's say I'm thinking about search, for instance, or I'm thinking about claim review, claim generation. What do you think about those kind of what we call one-off point of solution? Can you tell our audience a little bit more about their limitations in light of?
Yeah, it's in like in the spotlight they can solve a specific problem, right? But in general, like as a practice, and then it requires the integrated workflow for the efficiency and then the optimization of the process. That they are led to the quality and your kind of like ROI or something like that, right? So by the point actually that the one-off solution maybe create more friction than they solve, right? For example, that one-off solutions solve individual step, right? But pattern work is not set up an isolated task, right? They are all integrated.
Yeah.
It's for example that you cannot now say you're a law firm partner or the law firm Tony, right? I want to do this, right? You need to be integrated with other people, team, and also like your work, right? So that means it's a connected decision system, right? So it's kind of all you're doing is not just simply you stand alone. It is integrated, and the all maybe like consecutively to be integrated as a connected decision system across the life cycle of the pattern workflow, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, search, drafting, prosecution, and portfolio strategy handled separately. Wow, fantastic! But they like, for example, they force teams to reconstruct the same reasoning multiple times, right? Waste of time and resources, right? And then what goes lost in not just time, is continuously of intelligence, right? So prior insight don't fully carry into claim. Whatever that drafting logic doesn't carry into prosecution, and then that means that that's a hidden cost, right? So for example, the hidden cost is required rework, inconsistent decision, and structural alignment across the portfolio, right? So that's the thing that I always concern about, that how integrate AI solution properly to solve this kind of problem, right? In that aspect, one aspect is this is I'm not here to promoting DeepIP because I'm like a vendor neutral type academy, but I just reveal that one aspect is that at least if you want to integrate, you have all module, all component to integrate, right? Because in that aspect, the DeepIP has, to my understanding, most compressible like a solution to include all different type of modules. So and then they are interconnected. So at least they have opportunity to integrate to the like integrate workflow, and then they can integrate the digital system, right? That's a critical point that we can think about.
Yeah, I mean that's very clear. Like the ability to leverage the output at a specific stage of the patent lifecycle for the next step. Basically, it's what drives, makes the difference. That's for sure. One aspect I would like to add on that, maybe, and then we'll wrap up with those points. But also the fact that whenever companies start to go into benchmarking different type of tool and integrating different type of tool, if you start to add up a plurality of those providers, then it de facto leads to several procedure, a lot of processes. Eventually, once integrated, a lot of silos created across those different providers, and so on and so forth. So yeah, in that sense, there is a need for an integrated, AI patent platform that would cover the entire patent lifecycle and extract, obviously, the most value out of it. So I think we already touched on point 3. Can you share with our audience, Alex, and in 2 minutes, how important it is nowadays and in the future to have an integrating AI platform and what it requires from a collaborative standpoint?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to share. Maybe we have like a slide to about this one, right? Because at the time we can discuss some more about that. But actually, that I'm thinking about that the how integrated AI reduce handoff delays and communication gap is the most important thing, right? Because through this kind of like an integrated platform type, right? So back to your question, that I think about the simple answer is that because this integrated solution is a reduced handoff delays. So for example, most delays in pattern workflow does not come from the workflow itself, right? Come from the handoff between the stage and the stakeholders. For example, like in-house in-house teams, right? For example, in-house team require the outside counsel communication and then integrate with their workflow into their workflow, right? And then that's a very key point, actually, the integrate AI to take care of this one, right? And then also like hold the life cycle for search, drafting, prosecution, but you can start over in any starting point with a different, right? Based on your practice, right? So that means that the in-as handle reduce like a context loss, and then like a budget misalignment and repeated expansion, right? So this is very important. And mostly that I know the big law firm has also like a big like a division of the in-house counsel type the division. They have some administration people, right, control this one, right? But actually they are not all AI savvy or tech savvy, so they have some learning curve to understand to implement this one. So actually there may be some automation of this kind of like workflow integration, reduce like the handle time and the communication gap, right? So that's one actually that we require that AI solution integrate the workflow require this kind of demand, right? And then also like, for example, that with the integrated workflow that outputs are structures and reusable, very important. And context is carried forward automatically. That's very important. And teams operate on shared intelligence, very important. Actually, this shared intelligence is kind of like I'm going to have my next webinar. I have also my webinar topic is this topic. They call legal knowledge management with respect to the patent practice workflow, right? So that means that they should be reusable, but also they require to use as resources to recreate for the decision making or the other thing, right? Yeah. So underlying infrastructure is very important, right? That's what we are talking about, right? Is how to integrate AI to the patent practice as an infrastructure for the advanced like a patent practice and including this legal knowledge management.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Alex. Was very helpful. So now I would suggest we'll try to materialize that in a concrete manner for the audience, and we'll jump right away into DeepIP, the web app.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna share my screen. All right, are you guys able to see the platform? Alex, can you see the?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Okay, very good. So to sum up a bit, so we are at DeepIP building the patent AI infrastructure for patent lifecycle. So it means that the scope of solution within our platform is quite important and quite impressive, actually, based on our customers' feedback. Each of the solution that you see here on this landing page are dedicated for a specific step of the patent lifecycle. So as I introduced before, we have a module for everything that comes prior patent filing, patent drafting, and we're gonna spend some time on that starting. We also do have an adequate patent drafting assistance solution down the line, including some review functionality as well. We have been also building a solution, building blocks for office action, and also a couple of building blocks that are dealing with information retrieval plus analysis, comparison, to end up with a kind of legal opinion type of work. And I'm mainly thinking about invalidity, freedom to operate. And last but not least, the business IP layer that will come, already accessible in our labs, not commercially available, which are about the portfolio intelligence, landscaping, and continuation. Eventually, as you understand, landscaping continuation can happen at the beginning of the patent lifecycle as well. It's all going to be depending on what's the angle you are looking at it, and how and what you want to achieve, basically. Okay. So as you can imagine, based on the large scope and spectrum of solution that we have, we are going to be focusing mainly on the patentability module, the drafting module. We are going to highlight how those two modules can interact with each other, how they are interconnected with each other, so that the user can extract the maximum value from what's being done prior patent drafting and patent filing, and so that the context gets retained into patent drafting, and at the end of the day, so that the user, leverage in a seamless, frictionless fashion what could have been done prior patent filing, basically. So just to give you a concrete example of that, let's assume we are actually dealing with a corporation. The inventor or the patent information department is receiving a kind of invention disclosure. You will have the possibility to enter our patentability module, work and prepare some things into the patentability module. Once this is done, the user can further share its case to the patent department, which will receive it and then be able to start the drafting of the new patent application. So let's get started for this. So the first step, obviously I'm doing that all live, guys, so that we make sure that you understand all the different steps of our modules. Now that said, if I have a kind of technical problem, I'm gonna just log in onto the case that I have been preparing up front. So here the first step is to give it a name, obviously. So we'll give the date of today. There you go. Then the next step is, let's assume you receive an invention disclosure, or you are the owner of this invention. You will have the possibility to either, upload a kind of claim format type of things, or input the system with a kind of product invention disclosure. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to input the system with an invention disclosure. The invention is about, packaging in the semiconductor space, specific method accordingly. At DeepIP, we do have across all the, let's say, feature analysis or search-based module, some claim charting capabilities that you can see here. They will be equally accessible, obviously, into the FTO module as well as the invalidity module. Very important to keep in mind that the user is always in the loop, has full controllability. So basically, you can unselect, readjust, add, and so on and so forth. And then in the next step, we are able to either offer you the possibility to upload your materials, your prior art, or to just happen to run the search using the search capabilities of DeepIP. So here at this stage, what's very important to understand is that we'll give you the possibility as a user to leverage the patentability module to rework on the material that you get from your inventor or from your client eventually, so that you end up at something that will be more, let's say, patent filing compatible, okay? And then you will have the possibility to switch into the drafting module and then reuse and leverage the level of information that you get at the end of the step of the patentability, which is kind of search, claim charting, trying to understand what are, let's say, the potential route for further patent filing, and so on and so forth. At the same time, here, while it's still charging, you will see that, like for all the modules, and I'm going to talk about that after, we offer in DeepIP a high level of, collaborative / enterprise grade / customization type of features with the playbook. And this playbook, I'm going to spend more time once into the drafting module, but is present in all the modules, actually. And it allows the users to not only, kind of have a specialized template integrated into the final legal opinion that you're going to obtain, or the chart that you will get, but also like integrate any type of prompt engineering, like instruction, what we call in DeepIP custom skills, so that you end up with an output that will be the closest possible as what you would have done in real life. Okay, so just to comment on what happened here, and that's a very important aspect of our platform also, all the modules have the same layout, and you will always see on the left-hand side all the documents, the matters of your case, basically. So here we have the invention disclosure, or description of the invention. We have the search results that you can expand towards additional results, and the corresponding prior art that have been found by our own search capabilities. We do the full automation of the claim chart for you, with possibilities to very quickly actually access bases of information into the prior art documents. We will also allow you to sorry about that. We will also allow you to then go into the assistant and kind of customize the final legal opinion based on your preferences with some specific skills. You will have the possibility to go and click here and define the exact prompt that gives you the maximum relevancy of the output on this specific prompt. You will also have the possibility to add your own skill here by defining them, prompting them, and optimizing the system, basically. You will have the possibility to access a library of skills that are shared by DeepIP or by yourself, okay? Here at this stage, we also have some, customization capabilities. So you can find them gathered here at the top. So we have, the skills, like I mentioned here. You can create new ones, but also the templates, okay? That's very important for, enterprise-grade type of solution, because in our experience, customer, they want to have to streamline the way how they work. They want to have a kind of uniformity across the different work being done, and with DeepIP, we are allowing them to do that. Okay, same story when it comes to working with your partner in the R&D or your client. You will have the possibility to share your material either internally with your colleague or externally with the person you are working with. Okay, so then at this stage, we have our capabilities to reuse and leverage what's being done into the patentability module, into the drafting module, like this, okay? So here you can click, disculpa. So here we end up in the next step into the drafting module, okay? So as you can see, same layout. On the left-hand side, we have the future patent application, okay? On the down, we have also the corresponding prior art that were found into the patentability module, okay? So as you can see here, we offer you a platform that across the different module and the different step of the patent lifecycle, retain information, transfer information, and reuse it as context for further patent application drafting, okay? So here, basically, all the information that you see on the left-hand side will be accessible via the outline and the chat, and you will have the possibility to actually, interact with the chat and ask information about each of those documents and so on and so forth, okay? If I go back into the playbook, I also have a playbook for drafting. I also have the possibility to share playbook with my colleague, right? I will have the possibility to create a new playbook as well. Once I click on my playbook, I have the possibility to, share it across the organization, add some example, see the skills attached to that playbook. Those skills per section, for instance, they will allow me to obtain an output that will be as close as possible to what I would have done in real life. Let's assume I want to have all the subject matter of the claim supported into the summary part of the specification. That's an instruction that we can clearly give into the summary section here, okay? and so on and so forth. So basically, we offer you the full package in terms of customization, tailorization to your own practice, and it can be either individual or organization, enterprise wide. Okay, and also we allow you to share those things and to streamline those processes across your organization so that you get the most out of it. Okay. So as you can see here, this is the first time that we have been able to build a platform that integrates each building blocks of the solution for each step of the Python lifecycle, transfer information in a frictionless manner, reuse and compound the level of information you get at each step into the next step. And this is pretty unique, basically. So we are very proud to introduce those capabilities today. And we hope, obviously, that our users and our new tester will be able to have a look at those capabilities that have been actually well demanded for the past years, given the fragmentation of the private provider ecosystem out there. And just for the record, so all those capabilities that I've been showing to you, so the ability to switch, the ability to customize based on template, style, or skills, are accessible actually in each of the modules that we have in our platform. So we don't have the time, unfortunately, to deep dive into all of those modules, but bear in mind that it's already available and accessible in all of those modules. Okay. We are very short on time, guys. Apologies about that. For the sake of respecting your own agenda, we're gonna stop it here. Maybe we will take the question offline moving forward, and we'll try to address them all per email. I would like to thank you, Alex, for your presence today, for helping us in driving this webinar. And we hope, guys, that it has been somewhat helpful. If you are interested in trialing, please reach out to us. We will show you more in detail how all those functionalities work and how our users and customers leverage those capabilities. And we will see you in the next webinar, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.